Welcome to Leverage TV. We're making business relative is our objective. I'm your host, Jamil. We're here today. Here we are continuing our conversation on the characteristics of a successful entrepreneur. Today's show highlights an important skill that every entrepreneur must possess. In fact, I don't think you can manage a business without being a decision maker. I am excited about the conversation. I'm excited about this conversation because of how I met the individual who's going to be our guest. But we don't have enough time to kind of discuss um, how we met. Just note that she has played a major role in helping me make business decisions and also life decisions. As per usual, we have a special guest who has been making decisions for a while. She holds a bachelor's degree in accounting, a certification in financial planning, and a certification as a QuickBooks Pro advisor. Her accounting experience has led her to work in different industries: the software industry, the financial service industry, insurance and risk management industry, the education industry, and also the legal industry. Oh, did I mention that she has a love for numbers? So much that she started a business, right? Called JK Accounting and Finance. Her company provides bookkeeping services, tax preparation, business consultation, and financial planning. She's also a registered notary in the state of Missouri. Please welcome. I'm just going to call her Shay Johnson because I butcher her first name every time. Please welcome my friend, a proud mother and an entrepreneur, Shay Johnson. Hi, Shay. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing well. Welcome to Leverage TV.
I'm
So
glad to be a part of it.
I'm glad that you I'm glad that you have the time. I know you're a busy person to
Yeah.
come out and share your experience with up and coming entrepreneurs who want to learn more about the accounting business, but not only about the accounting, but about being decision makers. Um, so Shay, if I can ask you, what made you choose the accounting profession out of all the professions that you are in?
What made me choose the accounting profession? Okay,
Yeah.
I'll have to take you back to when I first graduated high school. I didn't immediately go to college. I ended up getting a job, or we'll say a job, at a university. It's University of Missouri, Kansas City. It's UMKC here in Missouri. It should be wildly known, I guess, because they have a great academics program for
Mhm.
nursing. They have another great for like the arts. So yeah, so I started there after high school, and I worked for an accountant.
Oh
And
wow.
I pretty much, yeah, I really, you don't know this story, but
I
I
don't.
pretty much worked for her. I worked under her for about 4 or 5 years.
Mhm.
I didn't know at the time that I wanted to, study the field. However, as time went along, I started to think about, just becoming an accountant because I enjoyed that work that I was doing. So yeah, because I basically did her job. If you really, she would just go through and check it off to make sure it was correct. But yeah. But I enjoyed it, and that's when I fell in love with numbers.
With numbers. My story, we're not gonna go into my story right now because this is
Okay.
about you and you making that decision to
Yeah.
be to walk into one of the best fields that there is, especially for business, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Most definitely.
and so I want to play a game,
Sure.
right? Oh wait, before we play the game,
All right.
what made you want to start a business after?
Well, I decided. Well, actually, I made that decision when I went to school.
Hmm.
When I went to get my accounting degree, I made the decision that I wanted to work for myself. Once I graduated and became an accountant, I didn't really want to be an accountant at a corporation or a corporate, entity. I kind
Hmm.
of wanted to do my own thing. I wanted the freedom of working for myself. I wrote out the plan, I created the vision. I just didn't know that after graduation, I'm like, okay, what do I do?
Right.
But God had a plan and it fell into my lap, literally.
Yeah. It's just very interesting, like how like there are a lot of things from the beginning of this conversation just falling into your lap, like the profession, and then starting your own business. And I can imagine after working for someone who actually had her own business, how much of a hunger it created in you to
Yeah.
want to be able to have your own too. You know.
Yeah, that's true. I just wanted my I think the entrepreneurial spirit has always been in me since a little girl because my
Hmm.
dad owned land at such a very young age in
Right.
Mississippi because I grew up in Mississippi. And you know how hard it was for him as a black man probably to get the land
Oh,
in Mississippi. And he owned land all throughout my adulthood up until he passed away. So for me, land ownership, that's a business. You
it is.
know, it's acquiring something that belongs to you. So for me,
Mhm.
that's why my company is named JK Accounting because my
Oh,
dad's name is John Kennedy. Yeah,
wow. You
yeah.
know, I
Everybody
was trying
knows
to
about
figure out
that.
where does the JK come from?
Yes,
And I
it's
was like,
John Kennedy. Yeah.
John Kennedy.
Yeah, because he's the first
Wow.
man to ever teach me about, finance finances and how to save and how to budget and how to create a financial plan. My dad made probably about I would say about $10 an hour when he
Mhm.
passed, but we received my kids and I received over $30,000 from my dad from money that he had saved himself.
Wow.
And this was over 20 years ago. Yeah. And not that 30,000 is a lot, but just imagine
Mhm.
you working your job and you having 30,000 saved just sitting there and then he hadn't sold upon him selling the land, that's more money that was, available to us. And I'm not saying that it's a lot because in today's time it's not. But for me,
Mhm.
that spoke volumes to me. He made $10 an hour, but yet he still was able to give us 30,000 up. That wouldn't even include in life insurance. So I'm just
Wow.
isn't that amazing?
That
Yeah,
is amazing.
yeah. So I want to leave that legacy, if not more, to my children and my grandchildren. Yeah.
So I'm kind of picking up on this whole idea that, and I want to get into the game, bro. But I'm kind of picking up on this idea that you learned how to make decisions at a young age
Yeah.
based off of what your father was teaching you. And that's why it's really important for parents and those who have kids, I mean, who
Mhm.
have children, to
Yeah.
instill in them the values to be able to survive in society. And the fact that he was only making, when he said when he passed away, he was only making $10, but he was
Yeah.
able to save up so much money, but also be a black man owning land in Mississippi in Mississippi, right?
Mississippi, yeah. So that, and I don't know if my dad knew that he was teaching me.
Mm,
And I didn't, of course, as a young lady who was a teenage mom, I have a daughter who's 30. I didn't really make great decisions, right?
mhm,
However, I think as you mature and you get older, you start to look back on things and you're like, maybe it's time I get serious about my life. Maybe
right.
it's time I start to apply the things that I've learned over a period of time. So I tell any young person maybe listening or even an adult,
Mhm.
it's you the decisions you make in life, it will either move you forward or set you back.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That That is so true because yeah, decisions that you make in life will either move you forward or set you back.
Yeah,
Okay, so are you game for a game?
I am definitely game for a game. Let's go.
All right, let's kick this decision making game off.
All
All
right.
right, I'm
Oh,
gonna throw up a slide.
okay.
There we go.
All right.
I want to remove the banner because I want people to be able to see these numbers.
All right. Cool.
All right, Shay. So you have a client,
Yes.
Lane's Bakery,
Uh-huh.
right? Or a new client comes in to acquire about your services.
Okay.
The first thing you pull out is their profit and loss statement.
Yes.
How can you help your client make better decisions? Like, what do you like analytically? What
Mm-hmm.
do you see what's going on?
Well, first of all, I see that they're at a net income, I mean, a net loss,
Hmm.
which means that their business loss, like they're not bringing in any income. Their business is at a loss right now. And of course, that's like we would consider that a great tax write-off, right?
Right.
However, they won't be able to feed their family or pay any bills. They may have a little tax return come, the first of the year, but yeah, they will definitely have to turn their business around. And the first thing that I would suggest would be the cost of goods, because if you look down the profit and loss, the cost of goods is the larger number.
Hmm.
So, as a negative. So we definitely want to start there first. I would suggest either, there are several options here as it relates to their cost of goods, but I would suggest either they lower the amount of the expenditures in cost of goods,
Hmm.
maybe not buy as many, like maybe not buy as much supplies as they've been buying,
Right.
maybe portion that out a little bit per month, decide what they need and only buy that. Don't go over at all. Don't try to store more than what you need to store according to your sales.
Hmm.
Yeah, and that's where I would start. Or, maybe decrease the amount of product that you're purchasing as well. Because if I just wouldn't understand a company that would spend 60,000 a year when they're only bringing in 55,000 in revenue.
Right.
To me that doesn't make sense,
Hmm.
because if you divide that by 12 months, the 55,000, you're not selling as much as your cost of goods
Right.
buying. So that doesn't make sense. So I would start there. And then for the revenue part of it, I would tell them to try to increase their revenue. There's marketing you can do to try to bring in more clients.
Hmm.
You can change your sell amount of your product or your service. Um, just say if they're selling, it's a bakery. If they're selling cupcakes at $2, maybe you can increase those cupcakes to $4 a piece,
Right.
just to bring up their revenue a little bit. So that's, I will start there. And then if you go down, you'll see their rent and lease is like 25 grand.
What kind of building they living in?
Right, right. So that right there, I would tell them to try to lower that, maybe move into a smaller place. Um, and then also the location of where your business is matters too.
That's true.
Like who you market to, like where is your location to, you want to consider all of those things. Let's see if I see anything else. Contractors. I would wonder, why are you paying contractors? You know? Even
Especially being that it's a bakery company.
exactly.
What do
Yeah.
you need the contractors for?
Yeah. Even though it's $2,000, I mean, that's $2,000 you could, put towards the cost of goods,
Hmm.
you know, or put towards, I would pay that to a marketing advertising company, right?
Right. Right.
Yeah. So what would be your suggestions?
Um, I'm definitely, like I'm definitely with you with the cost of goods.
Yeah.
Um, maybe the materials, like you were saying,
Yeah.
cost too much to produce the item, or maybe they're not producing enough volume.
Yeah.
So maybe they don't have enough volume to be able to go to a wholesaler who can
Hmm.
produce or a manufacturer more so, who can produce the product at a cheaper cost for them.
Yeah. And
Right.
another good thing they could do if they're a bakery,
Hmm.
try to get their bakery in some stores, some small businesses, stores.
That is actually a good idea.
Yeah. So those would be suggestions that,
Hmm.
yeah, that would be great for this company, especially with the revenue. If even if
Right.
they could, maybe try to double that revenue cost and bring that cost of goods down a little bit.
Right.
Hey, they could probably have about 60,000 in the bank to, you know?
Right.
Yeah. So those would be my
Maybe
suggestions
it's just
on that
and
profit and loss.
and so, like, we don't have the balance sheet here, so I'm gonna think about,
Right.
like, what's happening on the balance sheet, right?
Right. Right.
Um, Obviously, how is the business being funded in order to have that $33,000? Is that a 33? Yeah, I think it's 33. A 30 something thousand
Oh,
dollar
yeah, it's
loss.
33,000 lost. Yeah.
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 How are they continuing to run the company if 50 if the whole 55 is being ate up by cost of goods sold?
Wow.
So, my assumption would be is that the clients
Mhm.
are investing their personal funding into the business, or maybe they're investing some of the money that they're getting from investors.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
And, and
Yeah.
investors can be a general partner, or
Mhm.
a silent partner,
Yeah.
or some type of equity fund, or a loan company.
Yeah.
God forbid they're taking out loans to fund the business that's not being profitable. So how
Yeah.
they're paying their loans, because if we look at right now, we don't see any loan payments
No. No,
or
you're right. Yeah.
interest fees or anything up there.
No, so that means that, if they do have loans, they're not paying them.
They're not paying them,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
And so, the reason why I chose to do this in the beginning
Uh-huh.
was so that we can kick off the conversation
Okay.
about being a decision maker, being a
Oh,
decision maker.
yeah.
And one of the, I guess, the major things about
Mhm.
being a decision maker is you have to calculate, like, there are calculated decisions.
Yeah.
And so this document here provides us with data so that we can make decisions.
Yeah.
Um, so my question to you
Mhm.
is, what in your definition, how would you define what a decision maker is?
Ooh. My definition of a decision maker would be anyone who needs to make a decision,
Mm,
you
mm,
know, from all walks of life.
right.
But as it relates to an entrepreneur, you will make decisions more than you like to.
Tell me about it.
Yeah. I mean, it is the most critical thing you will ever do in your business
Mhm.
as it relates to making the right decisions.
Because making the right decisions are to help you result in better profitability. So, like you said, the decisions you make
Hmm.
can push you forward
Yes.
or backwards.
Yes. Yes.
So,
Yeah. So and when I say push you backwards, I don't mean that you will stay there. That's not what I'm saying.
mm,
It just means that you'll be in a position to make better decisions moving forward.
moving forward.
Yeah.
Hopefully, you learn from it, right?
Yeah. Hopefully you learn from those bad decisions. I know I do. I learn from my bad decisions. I'm like, nope, not going down that road again.
Again, can you tell me?
Again.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
Now, I
Yeah.
was going to ask you, can you tell us about a time where you made a bad business decision
Hmm.
that you have learned from?
Let me think of a bad business decision that I think I've made. Um, hmm. Well, I think I will, yeah, I have a bad business decision that I've made. When I first started JK Accounting, I came from a partnership prior to me being JK Accounting. And I think that the partnership decision was a great decision because I learned a lot from that.
Right.
However, I think the bad decision after the partnership ended was me not taking the time to restructure
Mm,
my sole company. I just jumped right into it, you know?
right.
I just created it, jumped right into it, and without much preparation. And I regret that because when I did that, I had to I had to do more while also handling my new clients or my
Oh,
clients on my
wow. So
So
the
if I
work.
would yeah, if I would have took the time to, you know, do the restructure, get everything, organized and prepared for for all the new business that was to come
Hmm.
that I didn't know about. I thought I had time to I thought I had time to build the website. I thought I had time to, but no, when God say that it's time to close one door and open another one, that's exactly what he meant.
Wow.
But of course, my new clients didn't see the back end of it, right?
Uh-huh.
They didn't notice what was going on, but hey, I knew. I'm like, so that was a bad decision. So now, before just say a new tax season starts, or before I, jump into adding a new product line to my company or product service, I want or service, however you want to refer to it. I kind of take the time out to restructure things before I just jump out there because you don't know what that's going to you don't know how many clients that's going to bring where you don't have time to do the necessary things that you need to do as you're trying to service your clients, if that makes sense. Yeah.
No, that is so true, and I
Yeah.
can definitely attest.
Hmm.
We're both accountants, right? We both
We are.
we
Yeah,
both do the same line of work,
we do.
business, and we both have worked in corporate too, right?
Yeah.
And so
And we have worked together.
we have worked together too, right?
I,
Thank
you know, we partner in on a few things, guys.
yes.
Yeah.
And so, you know, planning is very important.
Very.
Uh, is like being calculated and
Yeah.
making sure you're trying to, and you don't have to plan everything out, but if you can have the structure in place, it'll make the process so much more easier. Because I remember when I started my business, I
Hmm.
just jumped out there,
That's
and
what
there
I'm saying.
and there were some things that I did not know
Yeah.
of, and I had to learn literally on the job. But
Yes.
like when you plan, you're
Mhm.
able to allocate more time doing the work that your clients need done,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Not saying that we ain't we get the job done.
Yes.
We get the job done by
Mhm.
any means
Yes.
necessary.
Yes.
But I it's just I was like, oh my God, I'm over here reading literature, preparing for the tax season, maybe like the month before,
Yes.
right?
It
Knowing
happens.
that I probably should have did it a couple months before
Yeah.
because of the different
Yeah.
tax laws and stuff. I
Yes.
shouldn't be reading as I go because that adds more work.
Exactly. But the good thing about that is you're not the only one. We all, I think, and that's another thing and this may be off topic, but there's another thing that I feel as if most entrepreneurs, as it relates to decision making,
Mhm.
most entrepreneurs think that they have to have it all together
That's
prior
true.
to making the decision to open or to start their business. And
Mhm.
that is so far from the truth.
Right.
You do not have to have it all together before you decide to become a business owner, because as you can see, you can go through the process of of research. You can, you can do all of that while still handling your clients. I think what Jamil and I are explaining, that it's best, if you can,
Mm-hmm.
to take a little time, 2 to 3 months maybe, to just get prepared, a preparation prior to opening up your business. But I've had people that tell me, I'm so afraid to start the business, because don't be afraid, you have to step out on faith.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
So, you know, um, how would you say, I
Mhm.
mean, well, how does decisions play a major role in the life of an entrepreneur? And I guess you can give it from an accounting perspective, like you working
Okay.
with clientele, just
Okay.
a bit easier.
So I would say that decisions, of your decisions, like your decision making skills, matter every step of the way of your business, of being an entrepreneur. Um, because for me, when I make decisions as it relates to my business, I make them according to what I want to portray,
Mhm.
you know, um, how I want my business to be received by others,
Right.
the type of clients I want to bring into my business or to attract.
Mhm.
You know, all of that matters when you're trying to make decisions about, like, my logo, my website, my social media accounts, that matters, because I believe that certain materials attract a a mark. What do they call it? A
A
market?
market or a
Yeah,
target market?
target market. Yeah.
Mhm.
So you don't want to create, for instance, if you create, just say you made apparel, right?
Right.
And your apparel featured some things on your, that really isn't appropriate. Just say that. But
Right.
you wanted this market, um that is like not tailored to where your product will probably most be sold, will
So
probably.
more so like a conservative market.
Yeah, it wouldn't go well in that market, because that market wants more of a clean look, So
Right.
you just have to make sure that your company is a representation of who you are, and what clients you want to attract. So I would say that that's one decision that you have to make as it relates to your business. Another decision you have to make is financing financing your business.
Mhm.
Um, Me, I don't want loans. I want loans when I'm able to afford to pay those back, right?
Right.
I
Mhm.
want loans when I don't have to worry about paying my mortgage versus paying the loan company. But some
Right.
companies don't feel that way. Some companies, they bring in all the loans, and well, I had a client who, she had a loan for about $50,000, but she was only generating no more than, I think at the time she probably was generating 25,000 a year.
Really?
And yeah, but she needed the loan to finance the business, like you were saying about the bakery. So I would tell you, I wouldn't put myself in a financial, anything I do in business, I want to know that I'm gonna be able to generate the revenue necessary to pay the loan back, if that makes sense. You
No,
can go ahead.
no, 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 no. I remember, so when I started buying the equipment for the
Mhm.
YouTube channel,
I
right?
remember that. Yeah.
Um, Me and my cousin, we were having a conversation.
Mhm.
'Cause somebody was like, "Yo, you buying all this equipment, you haven't even used it yet." I said, "I'm in the preparation. I'm preparing to do
Yes.
the
Yes.
YouTube channel," right?
Yes.
And I said, "I'm spending my money on assets,
Mhm.
right?
Right.
So these assets are going to generate more money for
Yes.
me, right? So I'm probably going to make, you know, 10 times what I paid for this. Praise God.
Payback.
Right?
Yeah.
Um, and so I tell people all the time is like, and what you're saying is to generate, is to buy assets, right?
Mm-hmm.
And not get loans, because loans, they can keep you in bondage. You're
Yes.
paying, you got to pay interest.
Mm-hmm.
For her to
Yeah.
get $50,000 loan, that means she probably got some other equity or something else going on that she loaned it the money against. She probably got against her
Yeah.
house.
Yeah.
You don't have to put those things in jeopardy,
Yeah.
right? And I'm not saying that alone, because there are people who know how to leverage. I like that word.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
that know how to leverage loans, right? There are some people out there who know how to leverage
Of
loans,
course. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But you have to make sure that you're going to get the money back.
Exactly.
That's the
Exactly.
key.
That's the
Um,
key. You have to make sure that you're in a position to where, you know, it wouldn't be a problem for you to make that loan payment, you know?
right.
Yeah, yeah. And I know she was in a franchise business. So
Okay.
with that being said, they require money up front. They
Mhm.
require, so that's why I would suggest to anyone, if you're thinking about getting into a franchise business or anything that requires, money up front, or money out of your own personal account, you may want to make sure that that business is profitable.
Yeah, that's very, very important.
Yeah,
There's data out there, there's research out there.
exactly.
And I think Shay said earlier that location is important.
Very important.
So,
Yeah,
um,
yeah.
you don't want to put a McDonald's somewhere where there's no traffic at. You know what I mean? Like, you
You won't get any sales.
won't
Okay.
get no sales.
Yeah,
People will be just driving by.
right.
Um,
It's very important where you put your business and who you market to.
and who you market
Yeah,
to.
yeah.
Yeah, because who you market to essentially are the
Mm-hmm.
people who are going to pay for the service,
Exactly.
right?
Yes.
Because there are some people who don't want to pay.
I want to pay.
They
You
don't
know.
want to pay nothing. They want the nickel and dimes
Yep.
prices.
Yeah.
But when you have the experience and the
Mhm.
education and
Yeah.
the warehouse to guide your clientele, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
you you don't want the nickel and dimes. You want the people that's gonna pay you what you're worth, your value.
Yeah, and that's another thing. Let's speak about value.
Mhm.
That's a decision you have to make too. I found myself, of course, we'll get into like my market and everything, but whom I work with, I found myself wanting to serve them in the way that I'm not trying to get over on them. But
Mhm.
also, you have to remember that um, they're using your resources as well. You
Right.
know, you are a resource for them. You're
Mhm.
helping them to make financial decisions. You're helping them to get refunds back if you're doing taxes. If you're providing a notary service, you're helping them to obtain what they need through that notary. So it's very important that you value your business enough so that you know you're able to take care of you and your family, and to leave a legacy behind you, if yeah, as your business grows.
As your business grows.
Yeah, yeah, of course. Don't penny yourself. Don't work for free. You can give, but at the same time you want to make sure that God didn't bless you with your God didn't give you purpose for you not to be able to,
That's true.
he didn't give you
That's
purpose.
true. He said your gift will make room for you.
For sure.
Okay, gift, get over here, make some room.
Come
I
on.
need some money.
Yeah.
Um, but you know, um, when I realized when we were working I'm not going to say the name of the
Oh
company.
yeah, we can't. Yeah,
I
but I had to straighten my glasses up.
when we were working for the same company,
Yeah,
um, what I've learned is, what I liked about it was that everybody on our team were entrepreneurs.
yeah, sure.
Everybody had their own business outside of doing work for the small businesses that we did, that we tasked for. And in my conversation with them,
Hmm.
I'm like, so we talked about pricing,
Yeah,
and I'm like, and I realized that I wasn't charging
yeah,
market pricing,
yeah.
and I wasn't valuing my time. And so after, speaking with a couple of you,
Yeah.
I
Couple.
was able to make a decision
Yeah.
about, changing uh my 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 pricing
Mhm.
to fit my experience,
Yeah.
and to fit what I can offer. Because like you said, um, we're here to offer a service, and the service that we offer is, for me, is the foundation of business.
Yes, it is.
Like, we know where the money's going,
Yep. We
where
know.
it's
We know what's coming in, what's going out.
what's coming in and what's going out, and
Yeah.
we can use that data,
Uh-huh.
right, to help them make decisions.
Yes.
I I had a client, I think they made like 50,000 off a property that they sold.
Mhm. Okay.
And my suggestion is, you have to find something to reinvest it, or you're going to be paying the taxes on that 50,000.
Yes.
You have to find something. And listen to me.
Yeah. Or put it in a what do they call those? Is it a
A
it's an
mutual
account.
fund?
Yeah. Put it somewhere to where you're not being taxed on
Yep.
that current, you know? You have
Yep.
to put that type of money somewhere where you have time to think about what you want to do with it at times, you know?
Yep.
Yeah. So what happened with the client? What did they end up doing?
They end up paying some taxes at the end of the year. And then they went and brought a car the next year.
Oh no.
I
No.
said,
No. Probably pay
I
cash for it and everything.
said,
I hope it wasn't a new car.
a
Okay.
new car,
Oh
a
no.
new car the following year. And I'm like, look, um, because clients, they can listen to you, and they don't
Yeah.
have to listen to
They
you,
don't
right?
have to listen to
I
you.
still gotta get paid though. That's all.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
But I'm saying that is because, like, when we're going through the bookkeeping process and collecting the data, we're preparing the information
Yeah.
for the end of the year
Mhm.
to present to the IRS.
Yes.
This is what you have been doing. Uh, what you do throughout the year is a story. It tells a narrative. Your numbers tell a story of what takes place in your business. And at
Yeah.
the end of the year, you're going to know if you're
Mhm.
going to owe Uncle Sam some big money at
Yes.
the end of the year. But
Yeah.
you have to spend your money in a way, one, that will cause more revenue, and
Mhm.
two, that will cause some tax savings. And a
Okay.
great strategy with that. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So this client made $50,000. Was it a business or a personal? Was it 50,000 in personal or was it 50,000 in business income?
Business income.
So my thing is he could have just left the money in his business account.
Yeah. He could have left the
Well, he
money.
didn't have to. I was thinking it's personal, because with personal, when you have it in a personal account, it don't really $50,000 in a personal account is not smart at all
Is not, yeah.
because you're not going to generate any yeah,
Like
it's not
interest.
going to yield it's not going to yield any additional funds, right?
Additional funds, right.
But if it's a business, then yeah, that could have he could have kept 10,000 in the business account and moved some. I mean, that 50,000 is yeah, kind of
Right.
hmm.
50,000. All I'm saying is you could have bought the car that same year. You incurred the 50,000
Yeah.
because now what you're presenting to the IRS is a $30,000. Say the car was 20,000, you're presenting
Mhm.
30,000. So you're going to be taxed on the 30,000
And
versus
that's the
the
50,000. Yeah.
50. And
Yeah.
so that's where
Yeah.
the tax planning come from, or you could have threw one into the IRA. I think that's the 401k or something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
You
To
know,
where it wouldn't be taxed, until you made decisions with the money, of course, but yeah, it's definitely tax saving strategies that you can apply to, business income. Definitely. Yeah. So I definitely suggest to my clients as it relates to, when they're doing their taxes or when they bring their tax information to me, you want to definitely write off any car you buy for the business, any expense that incurred during the year.
mhm.
And it matters on, like, if your business is profitable, or how much income did you bring in this year, how much do you
Right.
anticipate on bringing in next year,
Share.
because if you anticipate on bringing in more next year, you can hold off some of those large expenses for the next year,
That's
so
true.
you have a lower, taxable, tax due at the end of the year. So I think it's important for you to have someone who really specialize in that, give you some good tax saving strategies. I've even had to ask my a few of my Schedule C clients, and we know what those are, small business.
Uh-huh. Small businesses.
Yeah. If they bring in a certain amount, I'm like, you may want to consider being an escort. You know,
Right.
that's another tax saving,
Savings. Yes, it
yeah,
is.
so, strategy that, a lot of companies use. So I'm just learning and growing, what I know, I give to my clients freely. And when I say freely, I mean, a free consultation. But if my clients give me a call and they need some help, I don't charge unless you want to sit me down for hours, then a fee will come with that. But
Look,
if
my
you
time
just
is valuable.
yeah, okay. But if they just want to call me to ask me a few questions, I'm okay with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I feel like while there's calculated decisions, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
There's also this element of risky decision.
Ooh, I like that.
Risky
Risque.
decisions, risky.
Yeah.
And um, I did an episode with Byron Marcel, who's a hairstylist.
Mhm.
Um, and we talked about risk, being a risk taker.
Mhm.
And so, risk is kind of throwing out the calculated stuff,
Oh,
the
yeah.
data, right? It's
Yeah.
it's 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 like I don't care about anything else. I'm
Mhm.
going to do it.
I'm going to do this.
I'm going to do this, and
Yes.
this is the reason why I want to
Mhm.
do it,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
I think some of the most influential entrepreneurs
Mhm.
or leaders or business leaders, venture capitalists, or whatever, they made risky decisions that end up resulting in some positive
Yes.
income flow, or
Mhm.
and so, but you can't take risk by playing safe all the time. The data would tell you to play safe.
Mhm.
So, like, has there been an instance where you had to play safe? I mean, well, where the data says, Shay, play safe, and you're
Mhm.
like, no, Shay,
Yeah.
this has to happen.
As it relates to business,
Hmm.
let me think. Have I ever made a risky decision? Um, hmm. Um, I don't know that I have.
Have you had a client who made a risky decision and it
Or
resulted in good efforts or,
or
profitability?
yeah, of course. I have a client who is she has a hair salon, and
Mhm.
she decided to buy the next building over from her and to combine it. And so that means that she kind of did an expansion.
Right. That's what that is.
However, she didn't know my client, but I'll tell her. But however, she was just coming to me for tax services at that time.
Mhm.
She didn't know where her business stood. She didn't know if she was at a loss or if she was at, uh, if she was profitable or if she was she didn't have, if she was in the red or if she didn't have no idea.
Right.
She went out and obtained this loan and expanded her business. But guess what? It yielded great results.
Adults. Wow.
Yeah, very good results. Because now she definitely hired what they call, well, they're not really, are they contractors when they pay booth rent? Yeah, they are.
Yeah, that kind of
So she hired additional contractors, which brought in additional revenue, right? And then she also brought in more clients because her it expanded, so she was able to bring in more, because she had more room to definitely take care of more clients. So at the time, she said that she wasn't thinking about all that. She just knew she wanted to expand, but she didn't know that it would bring in the additional funds. And now she's looking into buying another building and going into another different career, basically. She's thinking
wow.
about doing like event planning. Yeah. So
Wow.
I would say that was a very good risk that she took.
Wow.
And I probably need to take a few more.
I need to take a number out of her book.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, but when we talk about business, I'm very calculated with my
Mhm.
business. But I am taking a risk. I'm working on the notary agent business.
Mhm.
So that's a risk for me. Because
Right.
I'm going to kind of scale back in the the tax area. But definitely, I do take risk in my personal, with stocks and so I am a risk taker, but I
Right.
just haven't been with this company. Not yet.
Not yet.
Not
And,
yet.
you know, um, I think that's part of entrepreneurship. Uh,
Hmm.
yes, we have to be calculated, but
Yes.
there are times you're gonna have to come to a moment in a decision, and you're
Hmm.
just gonna have to like the data may not be there,
Yeah.
and you just have to take that risk.
Yeah.
And because like, um, what I can say, uh, I know friends. Matter of fact, I'll talk about myself.
Let's go. I'm ready to hear.
When I moved,
I know about this.
yeah, you know about this, right?
Yeah, I do.
When I decided to move to Atlanta,
Mhm.
it was a risky decision because I had nowhere to go stay. I had nowhere to live,
Nope.
right? And
Nope.
so I just know that I was going to visit my friend from college.
Mhm.
I ended up staying with her for a couple of days.
Mhm.
But, you know, to make the story short, is I went from staying at someone else's house,
Yeah.
laying on the floor on an air mattress at somebody else's house
Yeah.
to my to right now where I am in an apartment.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't calculate any of that. I just knew that I needed to be in this space so that I'll be able to live the life that I want. And so sometimes in order for you to have your business to perform the way that you want,
Mhm.
you got to take some risks that aren't you got to make some decisions that aren't calculated
Yeah.
because it's easy to go the familiar route and the
Yeah.
safe route,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But I wonder sometimes if the familiar and safe route would yield you
Yeah.
what the risk route would, and that's like what you were saying with the investments and stuff like that. You just don't know
Yeah,
what's happening.
I think that, I think sometimes calculated decisions keep you stagnant, because
Hmm.
you're comfortable. You know that you've really thought this decision through and,
Hmm.
it's the best decision for you. So of course it's a comfortable space that you will be in. Um, so being a risk taker would mean that you're taking a risk. And it don't have to be where, you're risking all the money in your account, but you could probably take a risk on 30% of that money,
Yeah.
or 40% of it. So yeah, so for me, I think my risk is coming up in the next few months, Jamil.
Oh,
I'm
I
ris-
can't wait to have that conversation.
yeah, yeah. I'm risking, just kind of taking a step back and venturing out on a new service. So we'll see how that goes for me.
I can't wait because
Me
I know
too.
I'll be there. Can I have some money?
I know, right? Gonna get to some of those signings in Atlanta. That's what
Yes,
we're gonna be doing.
that's
And
what we're gonna be doing. I'll be working on that too as well.
yeah, so that yeah, we can get that revenue. Just, a little bit more revenue added to your portfolio of
That's
services.
it. That's it. I tell
Yeah.
people all the time, like my end goal is to be a
Mhm.
venture capitalist.
Oh, nice.
And a venture capitalist is someone who does take risk on smaller businesses, mid-sized
Mhm.
businesses, different investments.
Mhm.
Uh, and the hopes are to expect a return.
Yeah.
You know, that's how some of the most influential people have been able to, surpass their own expectations.
Yeah.
Like Steve Jobs or Tyler
Yeah.
Perry
Ooh,
or Damon Dash. I
just
mean, the list can go on, right?
the mere mention of those names, right? We want, you know, show me a successful entrepreneur, you know? And then once you see that successful entrepreneur, you listen to their story.
Mhm.
And then you begin to not really copy, their map of how they got to where they're going, but it's
Right.
okay to pull from it, pull some things from their story and make it your own. So that's what I plan on doing, you know, just
No, I
taking someone else's story and making it my own, not copy.
right.
Yeah. Just think about our forefathers.
Yep.
Yeah. And look at where we are today based on, our history.
Based
So,
on that. That's
yeah.
true.
And we took what they've done
What
and
they done.
with that. What have we done with that? We've added to it. Yeah. Mhm.
And that's what an entrepreneur does.
Yeah.
We add to
Mhm.
what we have learned or build on top of what someone else has built.
Yes.
Um, you know, over generations, like the phone,
Yeah.
went from a telegraph, right? Am I right?
Right.
Telegraph?
I think it was a telegraph at first.
Telegraph, is that what it is? Okay. But
Well, is that well, what about the bottle when they put the note in the
the
bottle?
bottom.
Hey, they was getting messages across, okay?
They was getting messages. But I can get on the phone with somebody in a second now.
Second now.
What
Yeah.
took years, but
What
they built upon
yeah.
what was like the foundation that was set prior,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know. And
Yeah.
so as decision makers, you're looking forward, as risk takers, is to build
Mhm.
upon what someone else
Yeah.
has set in place as a decision maker.
Yeah. Yeah. So you make but you create your own, you know.
Mhm.
You create your own lane, you know.
Right.
I've worked with many accountants and many tax professionals, and I we don't compete with one another. There's no room to. No. Why? There's enough there's enough revenue and enough people out here to where we all can get what we need together.
That's
You
true.
know? Yeah.
I ain't got time to compete with nobody.
Why? Why
know?
waste your energy when you can be thinking of
Yeah.
the next step for you, or the next business for you, or,
Hmm.
or the next relationship for you. I mean, there's so many different things that you
Different things you can
have,
do. Right. That's true.
you know? Yeah. The next business investment for you, the next home for you, just forward thinking is what I'm about. I don't want to be worried about what someone else is doing, and if they're doing it better than me, because what God has for me is for me. And I know that I keep mentioning God.
That's
That's
all right.
who I am. Yeah. I love God, but whatever your spirit,
Spiritual.
yeah, if you're spiritual, that's okay too, yeah, but God is my source, so that's why I keep mentioning him.
A- Amen. It is
Yeah.
no problem. The goal is to allow people to see people of all. I mean, just to show the show. I mean, the goal of this show is to
Mhm.
allow people to see different walks of life.
Yes.
Everybody that has been here is empowered by some source, or from a different sources or strength, right? You
Yeah,
you just happen to garner yours from
yeah,
your faith, right? Well, we kind of it, we
right.
garner ours from faith. So, we kind of talked about calculated risk. We talked
Yeah.
about um I'm sorry, calculated decisions. We
Mhm,
talked about risky decisions.
mhm.
Um and so intuitive decision.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
so, and the reason why I say intuitive,
Uh-huh.
because that is not going to help you make the decision.
Nope.
Being risky isn't going to help you make that decision.
Mm-mm.
But there's an internal war
Ha
within yourself
Yeah.
that's going to make the decision. You know for sure that
Mhm.
if I do this, this is going to result in what I believe is going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
For you,
Uh-huh.
intuitive could be faith,
It
right?
could be, right?
And so how has your faith
Mhm.
helped you make the decisions that you have made regarding business?
I think my faith has really helped me to make decisions that I'm unsure of.
Mm,
Um, and we can go on all day about whose God is the right God. I don't really get involved in that, right?
mhm,
But I will tell you that when you know your source and how your source speaks to you, then you'll get your answer. Um, so me, what I do is, if I'm unsure about a decision, I pray about it, um, and God answers me. Um, there's some decisions that I may not get the answer like immediately,
right.
but that's where patience come in at. Um,
Mm,
yeah, you just have to be still, you know. And some people just feel a peace about their decision. I think that's intuitive as well.
yeah,
The peace that you receive, you know, and we'll talk about because as it relates to decisions, sometimes you'll have fear, and we need to cover that as well.
yes.
But as it relates to peace, if you feel peace within your soul or your spirit, then I would definitely go with that decision, no doubt, because peace is a yes to me. That means yes
Mm.
to me. You know, yeah,
I like that. I really, really do like that, because a lot of the decisions I've made have been faith-based decisions,
yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
Um, and so in terms of relating to the fear,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
Because there's some decisions that we're gonna have that's going to probably be very fearful.
Very fearful.
And
I know that for a fact. And you're gonna think like I shouldn't make this decision. Like you're gonna think like this is the wrong decision based on the fear you feel.
mm,
You know. And for me, every time I've made a decision that I felt fear, because to me that is me having faith that whatever fears I have, because to be honest, I really think that it's a setup when you have fear.
mm,
I associate fear with I associate fear with having faith, you
right.
know? Yeah. So whenever I'm fearful about something, it's time for me to have faith
To have faith.
and yeah, and put my yeah, and go for it.
And
Because I look at it like this. If I
yeah.
fail, I can go back to being I could go back to being that same person I was before I, was presented with this idea of me having and sometimes fear is like for instance, when I started the business, I was fearful. Did you
Hmm,
experience that? I was so fearful of failing.
wow.
Yeah. I think life brings, that out. Like you'll have fears about a lot in life. And I believe that when you have a fear about something, that means that God is pushing you into a direction that you don't think you're ready for, but He
Mhm,
knows you're ready for.
right. Be
That's when they say stepping out on faith. I'm stepping out on faith. That's
okay.
exactly what that means. Yeah. So I don't care what religion, nationality you are, your cultural background. I have friends of all different nations, all different colors. But we all can step out on faith, right?
That's true.
Yeah.
All of
Don't
us.
let your fears define you. Just do it, just do it.
So
Yeah.
I tell people all the time, um, and I like you were saying, like,
Hmm.
in order for faith to exist, there has to be this element of fear,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Hmm.
You know, um, like fear exists for the purpose of me being able to walk in faith and believing
Yeah.
that I'm going to achieve what I feel is the unseen because I haven't even arrived there yet,
Say that.
you know? And
Yeah.
so I have to make the decision to trust the intuitiveness
Hmm.
in me,
Yeah.
right? Or
Yeah.
God for some people, right?
Some
Or
people,
whatever your motivation is,
whatever that.
right?
Yeah.
Um, to trust what I'm hearing in my soul,
Mhm.
in my spirit, man.
Yeah.
To take the opportunity
Mhm.
that is presented for me, presented before me. And
Yes.
I feel like fear um, causes you to be brave,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
Because bravery and courage only take place because that means something you were scared of
Yeah.
or something's terrifying
Yeah.
you, right?
Yeah.
Um, so bravery,
Yeah.
courage,
Mhm.
boldness,
Yeah.
all of those attributes or characteristics that you need to accomplish your goal
Yeah.
um, exists, or faith too, right?
Mhm.
Uh, exists. Fear exists only for those things to be activated in you,
Yes.
and you have to make the necessary decision
Mhm.
to walk it out.
Yeah, because you're not, there's been plenty of fear-based decisions I've made that I didn't think I was going to be prepared for the next level. But
Mm,
in making that decision, as you make that decision, you become who you're purposed to be with each
wow.
decision, fear-based decision you make. I wish someone could have seen me at the age of, just graduating high school. I was this young girl who, I mean, I think I had a little confidence, but I wasn't able to speak in front of, even in high school, I wasn't able to speak in front of people,
Wow.
but there are certain things that we go through and we learn from. I made the decision to take speech classes, so where I could stand in front of people to.
Really?
Yeah, I did,
Wow.
That was a fear-based decision.
Because every time you have spoken,
Yeah,
at our previous work of employment,
yeah,
I'm just like, who is this lady?
yeah. So, yeah, I wasn't always comfortable. I would shy away from it. But in life, you have to prepare yourself for your next level. And if that means you make a fear-based decision to do whatever it takes for you to become the woman that or the man, let me not forget, the woman or man that you see yourself as, do it. Yeah. Make that fear-based decision.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
Shay,
Yeah.
we're winding down.
Yeah.
We can go on.
We can.
Yeah. If y'all had a little bit of our conversations, they may not be ready for our conversation.
No, I don't think they're ready. Hey, we're on the phone sometimes for it. Yeah, but that's what friendships bring. And then also decisions about who surround you.
Mm,
Mm,
that's true.
wow. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
true.
Because
You,
your circle,
mhm,
the people that you need people around you that will that will guide you, that will not hate on you,
mhm.
that will encourage you.
Yeah.
You know, that when you walk into a room is you don't feel you want to, you walk into when you walk into a space, you want to be able to have people who know you for you. Because no matter where you go in life, like for instance, Jamil is my friend, and no matter where life takes him, I'm still going to support him and to encourage him.
Vice versa.
I don't care, It don't matter if he's making millions of dollars. He's gonna send me to the penthouse for an amazing time, right?
I sure am.
I wanna talk to some amazing people. So why would I hate on my friend? So
Mhm.
you need people around you that no matter at your highest of highs or your lowest of lows, they know who you are and they believe in you. Yeah.
And and that circle of positivity,
Mhm.
right,
Yeah.
um, will help you grow
Yes.
and keep you focused.
Yeah.
Because there were times, and I guess there were times I'd be like, Shay, I'm done.
You was gonna quit on me.
I was gonna quit. Look, yeah, I know part of entrepreneurship is
You
making a
ready.
decision, and sometimes that decision mean quit.
I'm done with this.
I'm done with this. But
Yeah.
Shay and another one of our coworkers
Mhm.
encouraged me
Yeah.
and told me to keep going.
Keep going.
And because I kept going, I performed pretty good. I would like to think.
You did.
And so, and that's what because there's some people who will let you quit and they're
They
okay with you quitting because they may have issues with you being successful,
Yeah.
and
From our conversation earlier, I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry, but from our conversation, I don't. We had a conversation about how when we left the place we were in,
Mhm.
how we were able to walk away from that and obtain more favor, right? And I think that's because when you're enduring, um, when you're enduring things that you don't deserve, you
Mhm.
hardship, pain, it's only for a season. I think I've told you that many a time.
Yes. Mhm.
It's for a season and it helps you to become who you need to be in your next season. Remember, I used to
Right.
tell you
You
that.
say it all the time.
Yeah. Whatever you go through, and I trust me, I go through it too. And but I know that it helps you become exactly who you'll need to be in your next season.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Wow. I love it. I love it. I love it.
I do.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are at the end of the show.
Dang, I had a good.
And I had a great time. And so what I'm going to do, Shay, is I'm going to drop down I'm going to give
Okay.
you an opportunity to speak to the
Okay.
crowd.
All right.
Also, note your business
Okay.
and how people can get in contact with you, social medias and
Right.
good stuff like that. All
All
right.
right. Okay, so he gave me this opportunity to speak to you guys. I really thank you um, for coming into this YouTube taping where I was able to kind of express, good decision making skills. Also, you may not make the best decisions in life, but like I said, you grow from those and you move forward. So I'm going to share with you my social media information right now. So I have my Facebook. You can reach me at jkaccountant.us. That's my Instagram as well, jkaccounting.us. Also, you can reach me at email if you want to email me. I can be reached at Denitrica, which is the spelling is under my face right now, at jk-accounting.com. And I look forward to watching this in the future and looking at any comments that are made. I welcome anything that I may need to respond to. I will. Thank you, and you have a great evening or night. Have a good day. Bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, Denitrica. I got it. Denitrica
You got it.
Johnson,
Yeah.
aka my friend Shay.
Yes.
I want to thank her for coming on. As a parting
Mhm.
symbol, we give the peace sign,
Okay.
right? Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us at Leverage TV, where our goal is to make business relative because we want entrepreneurs to understand business in a way that it has not been given to them
Wow.
before. Thank you. Leverage TV. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe.